So this is the thing I'm most excited about, okay? Because I can't tell you how many times people write to me, Michael, and say, I don't like, how do I deal with anxiety? What are your best oils for anxiety? And it's kind of individual, you know, like there's a lot of oils that I rely on. Let's talk about some of the ones that I rely on. I rely on frankincense. I rely on magnolia is one of my favorites now for anxiety. Serenity complex. Because sleep is super important. If you're feeling anxious, a lot of times it definitely impacts how you sleep. And that might be the root cause of why you have anxiety to start with. So we have this amazing blend now that is specifically to trigger the limbic system in a way that helps rewire is not the right word, but just calm the mind, okay? And it really is a beautiful smell. It's got lavender in it. Oh, it's nice. And I don't always love lavender. It's not one of my favorites. I do rely on it for some anxiety. So, okay, it's got wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, and rosemary is one I call on a lot, actually, and neroli. Also, since we got neroli, I call on that as well. And then sweet gum, which is new. I'm excited about sweet gum because we have sweet gum trees everywhere, and I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but I plan to look into that a little bit. So that sounds like a pretty powerful blend, and it smells really, I don't know how to describe it. Lavender is the main thing I smell, and then just a few other like hints of things in the background. But it actually smells different when you put it on. Of course, that's mixed with Tamer now, so. Anyway, okay, so I'm really excited about this system. So they specifically built an oil that would trigger the limbic system, and the limbic system releases different hormones like serotonin, and helps balance cortisol levels. And this is one of the major reasons that we balance, or that we use oils, is because it helps trigger off these hormones, right? And so hormones are definitely a huge player when we're talking about feeling stress, because stress is an overproduction of cortisol, right? We're like just too busy all the time. So our hormones are like haywire, too many inputs, and just all these different reasons that we're feeling stressed and anxiety, and you name it. There's actually a really great video, and I'm hoping I can share that with you soon, that really was just people sharing what makes them feel anxious. What is it, and it can be being responsible for children. It could be a job that's stressful. It could be, having just out of your control kind of stuff, or feeling like you need to control everything. There's just all these different reasons, right? But what is so exciting about this is they shared that they did double-blind studies on with people all over the country with this supplement, okay? And that means double-blind means some people got placebos and some people got the actual product. And the average result was that people went, so they scored it based on a scale of 0 to 24. How do you feel? Are you super stressed? 24 or super like your anxiety is out of control. You probably maybe already on medication. 12 being pretty bad, it's right in the middle. 0 being like your Zen master is what they said, okay? And people who started taking adaptive after just 2 weeks went from a 12 on average, a 12 down to a 3. That was on average. That was average. So there were people who were, of course, much better, went all the way to 0. And again, this is a placebo, double-blind placebo, which means, some people were getting nothing, so they're, or something that doesn't really do anything at all. They also didn't know that the supplement they were taking was intended to be for stress. They just filled out a survey ahead of time, and, it was like a entry survey and an exit survey. So that's pretty incredible, right? To have a tool that works that effectively for a need that so many people have. Moms worry constantly, right? I think once you're a mom, then it's really hard to temper that worry, which is anxiety, right? And there's just this constant fear of, not doing enough, doing too much, leaving your children, all of these different things, right? So I'm really excited for my mom friends to have this. And then dads as well. I know so many men who are dealing and battling with depression issues from, maybe they're dealing with pain, or maybe they're not sleeping well enough, or maybe their job is super stressful, or whatever it might be. And this is going to be a good option for them. That's completely herbal, none of the side effects, and you can take without a prescription, and not worry about any of the risks. And for teenagers, right? I am so excited about this for teenagers who are dealing with the stresses of this modern world. So anyway, I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am. And as more information comes out about it, we learned a bunch about the science of the products, the ingredients in here that I cannot recite to you right now. I am too far gone right now to remember any of it, but I fully intend to come back to you with that information. Terry, are you excited about this? Are you super excited about this? So you really are meant to use these in conjunction. So this is actually, how did they word it? There was a slide that was so good. So this is more like the biochemical side of things, and the systemic side of things. So dealing with things from a systemic point of view, and this is dealing with things from a limbic point of view. So pairing these together is a super powerful way to get really, really effective results. And I cannot wait to bring this home and start trying it myself personally, and also sharing it with folks who I know would benefit. And I get messages probably most regularly, Lacey, what do you use for anxiety? What is your top oil for anxiety? And I see people posting constantly about anxiety. It's just one of those things, this day and age, that people are. And look, in this set, you also get a 15 milliliter of this. So this would be great to put like in your diffuser. And I don't know if it's diluted at all. Yeah, so this I don't think is diluted at all. And this is touch, so that means it is diluted, okay?